America is not the greatest country in the world. Yes, I said it, and I stand by it, and I will prove it. I'm sure that somebody is already typing a comment telling me that if I don't love America, I should leave. No, I will not leave. I was born here and I have every right to live here. In fact, I think I have more of a right than most people to live in America. I served this country in the United States Army for 7 years as an officer and an OH-58 Delta Kiowa Warrior helicopter pilot. I deployed to Iraq for a year. I wore the uniform. I deployed to Iraq after 9/11. I complied with what my country asked me to do into great personal sacrifice. And at the time, I believed I understood what I was serving. I believed that our government had proof that there was weapons of mass destruction, that our mission in Iraq had something to do with those who attacked us on 9/11, that I was fighting for some form of freedom. Now, my reasons for joining the military were not 100% patriotic. I needed a way to pay for college, and I thought the military would give me a leg up for the rest of my life. But I wasn't going to sign my name and my life, put it on the line just for those things. Obviously, I believed in greater things. I believed in the things that most of us were taught about America. I believed all the way back to the daily indoctrination that we make our kids do before school. The pledging to the flag, saying the Pledge of Allegiance to the American flag. I believed that this was a daily pledge worth making. I pledged for democracy, for freedom, government of the people, for the people, and by the people. And I believe that despite all of America's flaws, this system was fundamentally worth defending. I don't know if I believe that anymore. And I'm angry about it. Not because I hate America. We live in a beautiful country. We live in a country of wonderful people. But when Americans insist that there is no other option than either America is the greatest country in the world or you are disloyal for not believing that America is the greatest country in the world, I just think that's batshit crazy thinking. And it's dangerous thinking. There has to be gray in the black and white. And I'm angry because I'm beginning to wonder whether some of the things that I believed strongly enough to put on a uniform for were ever really true. What exactly was I serving? So I want to do something I've done most of my adult life doing. I want to investigate it. I am Doris Smith. I'm an independent journalist. This is the journalism of everything. We are the freest country in the world. Anyone can achieve the American dream. Your vote is your voice. We have a free and independent press. No one is above the law. America fights for freedom. America takes care of those who serve it. We are the greatest country in the world. Okay, how much of that is really true? And I want to make something clear before I start this series. I am not approaching as a neutral observer. I'm angry. I feel differently about this country today than how I did when I joined the military. And I'm not going to pretend otherwise in the name of journalistic objectivity. What I can promise you is that I will not manipulate the evidence to justify how I feel. When I first began rethinking what America was as a country is when I deployed to Iraq in 2005. I deployed to Erbil, which was a large, predominantly Kurdish city in northern Iraq, large being about 1 million people. The Kurds lived in relative safety then compared to the rest of the country, but due to a long history, hated the Arabs, so the other Iraqis generally living in the country. And very largely do not consider themselves to be Iraqi at all. They're Kurds. At the same time that I was there, the State Department had this policy and really pushed this idea of a unified Iraq. And if you look at the history of Iraq is a country that was created after World War II, and it was imposed upon the people who lived in these borders. So it's not even an ethnic identity really for anybody living there. It's kind of more of a Western idea of Iraq. So the State Department was going around and really trying to force the Kurds to fly the Iraqi flag. And the Kurds have their own flag. And to ask them to fly the Iraqi flag was ignoring thousands of years of animosity between the two, thousands of years of the Kurds really being traumatized by the Arabs around them. And it was just so blind to the history and a massive insult to the Kurds. And this is the first time that I really thought, like, what is our government doing? What is this agenda? It really baffled me. And I really started doubting why we were there. And it also is when I began having doubts that we have always had the best motives in our foreign policy. And it opened the floodgates to doubt a lot of other things as well. Does the average American actually influence government policy? Who gets access to Congress? And what does that access buy? Who owns the companies telling us what's happening? And does ownership influence journalism? Is economic mobility actually better here than in other wealthy countries? Why does America spend so much on healthcare? And what do we get for it? Is it ever justified? When I was younger, I was willing to serve this country based largely on what I had been taught that America represented. I'm 48 years old now. I'm a military veteran, and I'm a journalist. And I have a lot more questions now than I did back then. So maybe it's time I finally ask them. I'm Doris Smith, an independent journalist. This is the journalism of everything. Tune in next week for episode 1 of this series. Is America really the greatest country in the world?